Welcome to this episode on spiritual health. In the last two episodes, we considered what is the purpose of life and what are we supposed to do. Apart from the ancillary activities of Nitya Karma and Niyat Karma, the main purpose of life is to engage in sadhana. So what is sadhana? Say this is the yoga mark that leads us to our ultimate destination of self-realization. Around this, there is the wilderness of desire. And we are roaming in this forest. In this forest, we find our favorite flowers and fruits, and therefore, we are very happy, we enjoy them. At the same time, we are pricked by the thorns, so we cry about it. Moreover, we want to create a clearing and sow our favorite fruits and flowers. Different people have different favorites. So now there's a quarrel as to what to sow there. The right thing is to come out of this wilderness of desire and proceed along the path of yoga to the final destination. Coming out of this wilderness is the process of purification, Shuddhikaran. Then progress along this path is Urdhvikaran, growth. Finally, reaching the destination is Ekikaran, the unification.
How does one come out of the desires?
How does one come off? By analyzing our disturbances. The disturbances are indicators that we are entertaining desires. So, our disturbances indicate to us where we are stuck. And self-analysis of the root cause of this disturbance leads us to where we are stuck. And then we are willing to get out of this hang-ups. It is the block created by us in our own progress. So the first step is to remove these blocks created by us. There are different techniques of coming out of it. Use any which suits you. Having come onto the path of yoga, now you have to gradually proceed to your final destination. And this takes place in steps. Not only are different steps, but there are different paths. Some people reach it by Bhakti Marg, some by Gnan Yoga, some by Karma Yoga, some by Raj Yoga. Which is the better path? All are equally good. The comparisons among them is unwarranted. You adopt the path that most suits to your nature. Now, let us say a person has cleared the 5th standard and is promoted to the 6th standard. What subjects should he study? Those pertaining to the 5th standard or 6th standard?
6th standard.
What will be easy for him and what will be difficult for him?
5th will be easier for him and 6th will be difficult for him.
So, what should he study?
6th standard.
6th. So, though difficult, he has to study that. But what do we usually do? We choose to study what is easy for us. That is what we already know. So, we are keeping on repeating and repeating what we have already mastered. That does not ensure our growth. Now, what will the student like? To study or to play? Play. So, when we do what we like, we are digressing. We will enjoy a lot, but we are digressing. Anyway, now the person who is promoted to the 6th standard says, why should I study the 6th standard? Ultimately, I have to study 10th standard. So, why not from now? Is it right?
No.
It's beyond his capacity. So, this type of high jump is also not correct. Now, while studying, he learns something very interesting, something that helped him very much. And therefore, out of very good intentions, he tries to teach the same thing to others. What happens?
Again, you're digressing. Stuck.
No, not digress, you are stuck.
Stuck.
And why do you do that? Because you do not have the faith that the entity which made arrangements for you has also made arrangements for everybody else.
We can't decide for others.
True. So, this is not selfishness. This is self-orientation. There's a lot of difference between the two. Say, let me give you an analogy. There are three types of students. One student is in the classroom. He's not listening to what the teacher is saying. He's not mingling with other co-students. He's busy playing games on his mobile. When he's hungry, he opens anybody's tiffin and eats it. When he needs a pen, he flicks anybody's pen. If he needs a paper, he tears away a paper from anybody's book. This is the first student. The second student mixes well with the co-students. They come together, they live together, in the recess they eat together. If somebody has forgotten the tiffin, he'll give some portion from his own tiffin. If somebody loses his pen, he'll give his own pen to him. If somebody needs a paper, he'll tear off a page from his own notebook and give it to him. The third student is not mingling with the co-student, but is busy listening to what the teacher is saying. The first student is selfish. He's fulfilling his own desires at the cost of others. The second student is selfless. He's fulfilling the desires of others at his own personal cost. The third student is self-oriented. He's doing what he's supposed to do. In the process, he may annoy the other students, but he can't help it. Say the teacher has left the classroom for some work and given some assignment to the students to do. Now, what are the students supposed to do?
To do the assignment.
To do the assignment. What do you think most students must be doing? Playing, chit-chatting. Amongst them, if one student is doing the assignment, what will happen?
Bullied.
He is bullied. People will call him names. He's a geek. He's a nerd. What should he do?
He should do his assignment.
Focus on his
Assignments. And ignore these comments.
Oh,
Suppose the other students want to play some game and they have one player short and request him to join their game. What should he do?
he should not join.
He should not join. The others will be annoyed. They say, you're a killjoy. You're selfish. Is he selfish?
No.
No.
Self-centered.
He's
No.
self-oriented.
Sorry.
So, while you are on the righteous path, others are not necessarily going to be happy with you. Because what do they want from you?
You also join them.
To join in their play. And if you oblige them, then what do you miss out on? Your own study. So, when we are busy keeping everybody happy, what are we doing? We are collecting the certificates. We are collecting certificates from co-students. Now, whose certificate is important? The teachers or the co-students?
Teachers.
Does the certificate from co-students have any validity?
No.
So, aren't we wasting a lot of time and effort in collecting certificates which are of no use?
Yes.
I'm not asking you to keep on annoying others. But in the pursuit of your own beauty, if others are not satisfied with it and get upset, that's none of your business. So, our focus has to be purely on our own spiritual growth. And that constant remembrance, the purpose for which we have come in this life, is called Smruti. What is Smruti? While engaging in all activities of life, at the back of the mind, there's a constant remembrance what I am here for. And that's why you don't get drawn away into anything else in life. A pure focus. So, as you grow in life, you look at life as a witness, as a Shakshi. We get too engrossed and are not able to keep that witness stand. Let me illustrate that with a story. There was a prince who was lost in the fair when he was an infant, and the parents of that lost prince died in his grief. This lost prince was living as a beggar in a village. Every night he used to sleep in the temple, and during the whole day he would beg alms. If somebody had a party and he would get a sweetmeat, he would be overjoyed. If somebody made fun of him, he would get angry. If somebody drove him away, he would feel sad. Now one day, a soldier passing through the village saw a mark on his shoulder, and he thought that this must be the lost prince. He informed the Prime Minister, and the entire cabinet came down to identify the mark. And they took him away. Now the beggar was terrified. He said, "What have I done? Why are you taking me?" And they told him that you are actually the prince and this is not the way you should live. Anyway, he was taught the right way of living, and after a year, he thought to himself, where was I a year back? Now he had saved those rags. Donning those rags, he went back to the same village and again he was begging. This time, if he got a sweet, he was not overjoyed. If somebody made fun of him, he would not get angry. If somebody drove him away, he would not feel sad. Why?
Because
He's focused on his.
Because he knows he is the prince.
Yes.
Because he knew he is the prince. Even earlier he was the prince
but he
and he was playing the role of a beggar. But he was not aware at that time. This time also he is the prince and playing the role of a beggar. But he is aware that he is the prince. We are all prince and princesses come to be the king. But we are living like beggars. We don't identify ourselves with our role. That's the role we have played. Like when a person plays the role of a king in a drama, at the end of the show, he goes to take his salary.
Correct.
Does he say, I am the king?
No.
So let not identify ourselves with our role. Then it reaches our head and we deviate. So we have to live our life as a witness to the various happenings. So in this episode, we saw what is life really for. In the next episode, we shall see what are the fruits of this righteous life.